Subscribe to our channel by clicking the subscribe button. Click the bell button and enjoy the latest uploads from our channel.
Donald Trump and the White House unleashed a roller coaster of self-contradiction this week, with a series of statements so cack-handed that right-wing media and Trump loyalists have embraced them as the deliberate trolling of America. They may have a point. It all started with Trump's summit with Vladimir Putin in Helsinki. Trump openly doubted U.S. intelligence that Russia interfered in the 2016 election in order to aid him. Then he took it back a day later, gathering members of Congress into the Roosevelt Room to announce, "I have a full faith in our intelligence agencies." As he began the sentence, the lights in the Oval Office dimmed into blackness, and didn't go up again until after he finished. Watch lights in White House go out as President Trump says he has full faith and support for America's intelligence agencies. Oops, they just turned off the light. That must be the intelligence agencies. That was strange, but that's okay. Whoops, that must be the intelligence agencies, Trump said to laughter in the room when the lights rose again. It's worth noting that in the weeks after Trump took office, aides were reportedly forced to meet in the dark because they couldn't find the light switches. Maybe they have located them? Then, despite months of publicly mocking U.S. intelligence on Russia and calling top intelligence officials everything from liars to Nazis, Trump claimed that he had merely misspoken in Helsinki in a key sentence. "In my remarks, I said the word would instead of wouldn't. The sentence should have been I don't see any reason why I wouldn't, or why it wouldn't be Russia." Sort of a double negative, he declared confidently, reading directly from a piece of paper. "So you can put that in, and I think that probably clarifies things pretty good by itself." The very next day, when he was asked whether Russia is still targeting the U.S. to interfere in elections, Trump responded, "No," contradicting his own director of national intelligence. Then White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders told an incredulous room that what the president really meant was no more questions, despite the fact that he continued to speak to the press in the room. Watch at conclusion of cabinet meeting, reporter asks, "Is Russia still targeting the U.S.? President Trump, thank you very much. No." Pressed about details of any deals Trump and Putin made during the meeting, Sanders told the press corps at the same briefing, "We've committed to nothing." Then, in the final touch, she surprised the media, the State Department, Trump's own top intelligence pick, and possibly the Kremlin, by tweeting the next day that yes, something had been agreed to in Helsinki. After all, Putin had been invited to the White House. Trump's White House has a pattern. The president says one thing, then does another, he makes statements that contradict themselves, he lies, and the press office brazenly declares that none of this is happening at all. In part, this is a deliberate provocation of the press, and of the millions of Americans who didn't vote for Trump. It didn't come out of the blue. Presidential advisor Stephen Miller's mission since high school has been to shock and offend the progressive sensibilities of his peers, as McKay Coppins wrote in The Atlantic in May. Now, Miller and much of the White House press team appear to be perfecting the art of internet trolling and shitposting in real life. Miller represents a new type of conservative, one that delights above all in triggering the libs, Coppins wrote. This type of conservative is thrilled with the White House's recent performance. "President Trump is the gift that keeps on giving, my friends," wrote a popular commentator on pro-Trump subreddit The Donald on July 20th. "This man literally gives zero fucks about the media's perception of him," he wrote approvingly. "If this isn't one of the most epic troll moments in history, I don't know what is. I am convinced that our president is hell-bent on keeping his opposition in absolute knots for his entire presidency because he knows their idiocy will only drive supporters away from their party. The more they look like the absolute imbeciles that they are, the more normal Americans will realize that liberals are mentally defective. Pro-Trump Americans should welcome Putin to the U.S. because it would make left-leaning Americans apoplectic," he said, even though Putin would probably love to see the fall of America as we know it. After just a few hours,